I'm Liz Dodson, president of the International Association of Female Artists, which is an organization that provides a forum for women globally that gives voice to artists of all media. Women artists have been the pollinators of culture and community for centuries and now often are not seen or valued in visible ways in the art world. We hope that this global opportunity creates a new precedent for allowing access to those who are often overturned in countries around the world. We welcome you to the Time Is Now Conversations with Artists, which focuses on individual member artists showcasing their works. This particular forum is committed to showcasing our members' works and their voice with the participation of selected panelists who may offer community on various works. Now, I would like to introduce Ellen Schillace, who will be the moderator today. Ellen Schillace was born in Washington, D.C. She received her Bachelor of Arts degree from Salve Regina University in Newport, Rhode Island, in English and psychology. Although her original journey with art began with her artist father, who monitored from an early age, and she was already doing portraits for money in high school. She has studied art at the University of Colorado in Boulder in 2001 and 2002, and done further graduate work at Salve Regina University. She has been in multiple juried shows nationally and internationally, including at the Boulder Museum of Fine Arts and at the Tata Museum of Contemporary Art in China. She was a curator for the Women in Money project at the University of Minnesota in 2016, and currently is vice president of the International Association of Female Artists, which goes by the acronym of IAFA. So now I would like to introduce to all of you Ellen Schillace, our moderator today.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you very much for your words. And I want to welcome everybody to Now is the Time. And I'm going to just tell you how this is going to happen. I'm going to introduce the panelists and then introduce Loy, who is our guest artist today. And then she will proceed with sharing her show with you online. So the first panelist I'm going to introduce is Liz Dotson, who is our gracious president, and just give you a very abbreviated description for everyone because of our time. We can't put in all of the accolades that people have. Liz graduated from Minneapolis College of Art and Design and received her BS and MS in art education from the University of Minnesota. After living in South Africa, she traveled for 14 months in 26 countries. She is a multimedia artist and has exhibited nationally and internationally. She's an accomplished curator of multiple exhibitions at the University of Minnesota, among others. She is currently the president of International Association of Female Artists. Thank you, Liz. And sorry for the abbreviated, couldn't possibly get in all of the wonderful things awards that she has had. We also have with us Rosalie Olton, who is an educator in the area of visual culture and art history, and an independent curator with a special interest on the intersection of arts and environmental sciences. She holds degrees from Dickinson College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, an MA from American University in Washington, D.C. Advanced study, she was a PhD candidate in American Studies at the University of Minnesota and a postgraduate fellow of the Smithsonian Institution Hirshhorn Museum and Sculpture Garden as a research curator. She was invited by the Museum of Russian Art to bring a program for Novosibirsk that is currently online and actually also showing in Siberia. So I'm going to move on to Lynnette, and Lynnette is a multimedia artist and curator who attended the MFA program at the University of Iowa and has a lengthy career in global marketing. She is a co-op member of the High Point Center for Printmaking and actively exhibits locally and nationally, receiving a multitude of awards. We also have with us, and I know I'm going to apologize about your name, Tsao Hsingyuan.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you. Who has a BA degree in sculpture from China Academy of Arts in Hangzhou.
Yes.
Thank you. An MA degree in art history from the Central Academy of Fine Arts in Beijing. And she has a number of recent exhibitions in China. And I think are you now here online from China?
Oh, I'm sorry. My CV probably wasn't really well written. I was sick a couple of days until this morning. I'm still not quite well. I got a PhD degree in art history from Stanford University, and I taught in various places. Now I'm located in New York.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for that. And that's amazing. And thank you for joining us today. I really feel honored that you're here. I feel honored that everyone is being present to this exhibition. Loy is very, you will find very interesting. So Meng Tang is our next panelist, and she was born and raised in Tianjin, China. She earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from Beijing Film Academy, a master's degree in media arts at the New York University, and an MFA on new media arts at the University of Minnesota. She has served on the faculty at Beijing Film Academy and currently is teaching at the University of Minnesota since 2010, and she's currently vice president of International Association of Female Artists. Mark Hopkins was born in Poughkeepsie. He received a BA in Fine Arts from St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota, and he started, it seems like, painting scenery for theater and opera while freelancing as a muralist. But then he's traveled extensively and lived in Thailand, Singapore, and Indonesia. And he exhibited regularly throughout the United States with multiple exhibitions and group shows. And he is in a variety of shows currently in New York. I am ready now to introduce Loy, who is our guest today. And I want to thank you, Loy, for spending your time to put this show together for us for this morning. I want to say a little bit about her background. She was born in Beijing, and she obtained her master's degree from Beijing Institute of Fashion Technology. She currently lives in New York, and she is a well-known Chinese fine artist. Her fine art creation involves various fields such as sculpture, painting, video, installation, concept, action art, and even art criticism. She's an active member of the European Artists Association and the International Association of Female Artists, IAFA. She was formerly an art instructor at the Beijing Science and Technology Management Institute, and over the years, her art exchange activities have involved China, France, Germany, Italy, Greece, Australia, the United States, Belgium, Sweden, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, and other countries and regions. Her work has sparked a lot of scholarly interest and debate. Her abstract art was publicly commented on as a huge power being compelled in the peaceful, surface, and simple format. She recently has gotten wide participation and resonance with her art. And her works have been loved and acquired by domestic and foreign art institutions and private collectors. What I have found in studying and talking with Loy is that her genius lies not only in the visual images and the work that she does visually, but in the words she uses to describe her process. She wants to see the artist as stepping out of the bounds of the logical and rational mind into the unconscious where there are no words. The work, she says, should take us easily to that place as she leads us down that path. I welcome you to your journey, Loy. So I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you.
My time? It's my time now.
Yes, please.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Loy Luo. I'm very appreciative for the chance given by IAFA to share my work and idea. Today, I mainly want to share you my work after I come to New York. I will show you a movie that covers my two solo exhibitions in New York. The Other Eye by White Box Art Center and Homeless by Undercurrent Gallery. Second, I will introduce you my creation from January 2021 to now. It is the main content of today's meeting. I treat it as a project and named it Brick and Beauty. Now I can, let's go. You can see? Can you see? Hello?
No.
Yeah.
I see you.
Can you look at the my screen?
No.
No? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I need a share. Yeah, I know. Okay, share.
There you go.
It's okay? No? No, it's okay.
Perfect.
And this is maybe I need. It's okay. 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 This is why after my solo show at Undercurrent, I invited by my friend in Kingston. His name is Evan, and in his house is in winter because in winter, so I experienced a long winter with snow. So in the outbreak of the pandemic, I know many people move away from the city. One of the most profound experience I had was go through the window and stare at one tree, another tree, and yeah, many trees. So, and this is stare at the tree. Every tree, I stare at them 30 seconds, and I take a video, and I want to put them at one bigger screen. Yeah. So usually every morning when I wake up and look outside, the dark blue sky and the dark tree shadow on my bed, I almost every time thought I was the old Chinese classical poet and painter. His name is Guo Xi, and I like him was lying travel in deep mountain. Yeah, when I too old to go outside. Yeah, this is a famous story in Chinese art story. Another thing is always I stare at one tree one time. Since I think if you look at many, it's like a landscape, not looking for a friend with soul. So I treated them
Right.
as a
Right.
real person
Right.
with soul, as this
Right.
piece. And a long winter with snow on top of the lagoon. So I use the iron window and the wooden window. Some I get from many families. Yeah. And though the disaster has locked life into a prisoner mode outside the window, the power of life was under the skin of the withered branch. Sometimes it seems like I can hear the sound of life. Yeah.
Mm.
Cherish me, even I'm very sad sometimes and very lonely. Yeah. This is very old, broken window. And I do many this. And at this time, I do a video. It's look like this. This is Kingston, New York City. I was touched by the scene that four of the Chinese poet appearing outside the window of the train. Like Chinese classical painting, Fu Chun Mountain Residence. And it is by Yuan Dynasty's the very, very famous painter. His name is Wang Dongwang. And I also do the calligraphy and the song of the poem 300 and the very famous long poems by Hsingyuan. Yeah. So it comforts me. This is I do a gift for Evan. Xiao Yao Yu. I don't know how to translate. And this is Buddha's. And then when winter ends and the spring come, I invited by my friend Mark in Rhinebeck, and his studio is very, very beautiful. Outside the window, many flowers, like a sea of flowers. So, but you know, I always feel sad for a short flower period. I chase for the beauty can be forever in my painting. I don't know, everyone knows the famous novel named Hong Lou Meng in China. Yeah, have a person means Lin Daiyu. Now I can understand why in spring people always feel sad because so beautiful thing. You look at them very beautiful, but they quick, they very short, the beauty too short. So I paint something like poem and like how to say, the youngest, the young waiter's trouble. Yeah, this is a very famous poem from Chinese Tang Dynasty. and I translate this in line Jin Se for no reason to become 50 string, as Qin column are tearing the past of youngs. In the morning, Zhang Shen dreamed that he was a butterfly, and the Emperor Wang entrusted his sad mind to the cocoa. Fish person cried out pierrot tears in the sea moon when the sun is warm. The luster of jade of Lantian raised like smoke. Some emotions can become a future memory, but at the time, the young author has left disconsolate. And then I move again to city, and then I move to the near Chelsea, but it's Jersey City. So at first I use two little room on the ground space in my work. In one room I covered all the facilities with black clothes, and the facilities were also black squares. I put a few painting windows on the ground or on the wall. During this period, Reinbeck's triple religious environment began to my memory and infect my creation. Yeah, you know, in Reinbeck, in the garden, Mark's beautiful garden have a Buddha. It's outside my window, and at across the road to east was a white Protestant church with a high cross, and a Taoist home. I think Mark's garden. Yeah, this is I name it a Taoist home, surrounded by forests and flowers. And then at this time, I plus the cloth, red, golden, and some other colors in the window. I think, I remember maybe in this windows have inside hidden some religious. Yeah, and this is enlightenment from the three Buddhas. This is Buddhas. And this is nature. In my opinion, in many Chinese people's eyes, the essence of Taoism is a natural religion, and it follows nature as a superman. And then after 1 month, I moved to a bigger space, also in Mana. And at this time, I feel joy, happy. Usually, I can very freedom to create. And at this time, I found an interesting thing. I put the many paintings on the floor, and I find some, very, this like you can look like this. Yeah, we'll put them together like a long rows of China. And this, I put them something like this. And so I think through this way, I think maybe the word presented in art is only a result of a window game. Yeah, because when you at a different theory and different dimensions in the space, you have different idea. Yeah, and then now I have recently returned to abstract painting with relaxed and uncomfortable urging to create, as if I have returned to the heavens and metaphysics. And this is so. This is let me think. I connected with my creation before in China. I do maybe 10 more years abstract painting. I don't know. Yeah. So after this, I think maybe my I want to say is the trillion Hamlet, because we know word saying is 1,000 reader, they have 1,000 Hamlet, but I think maybe we can change, because one writer, one Hamlet, because they are at one time space. But if you have 1,000 times space, we have 1,000 Hamlet. Like me, in different time space, I have different Hamlet. And but from the reader, they look me like you look me, maybe yeah, different readers. You treat me is different. But at this time, I think more is one reader, maybe at 1,000 times space, you treat me, maybe 1,000, 1,000 kinds of me. And at this, I do the 1,000 Hamlet, maybe have 1,000 Hamlet you can get, only one. And then if 1,000 whiter, yeah. So I do this thing. I think you understand what I wanted to express. Yeah, so this is the theme of our exhibition that I want to preparing for, you know, in the, yeah. Yeah, always change. And I want to say numberless windows makes this thing acquire a sense of existence similar to the real. And the identity overlap of people in the internet age intensifies the magic of the phenomenal world. So I will do installation performance art inside and outside the window. I put many layers of window behind or before the painting, and some people look each other and look at the painting from different angle. So they can get a different feeling. So I use my creation experience to prove the huge role of human emotion and recognize the experience in different time, space, in creation, and the so-called stylized era is indeed gone forever. It is not important what to create, but what important is that we still have the irresistible creation impulse from the bottom of our heart. However, also theorists and art pioneers put forward the theory that art has no boundary and anything is art. But they still lack a good standard for art. I guess based on my own personal experience of creating and watching art, good art should include the creation design with a strong sense of present moment from the heart. And at the same time, no matter what image an artist creates, people can always feel the real existence of and artist as a whole. So no matter you see many trillions Hamlet, but yeah, you still can feel one real writer behind the Hamlet. So this is yeah, and I want to I want to add. Oh, okay. Okay. Stop this. Oh. I still wanted to show this two video to. This is
calibrate by the number of hospitalizations, the infection, by the number of hospitalizations, the infection. It's a draw fast. But aside from the name thing,
hi. Hi.
I'm good. Working. Going home now from work. And I work around here with doing buildings and fixing and repairs and stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm home finally for the weekend. So.
The Director of Education for Town Hall. I'm on the Upper East Side right now.
Nice to meet you. Business.
Huh?
Business.
Oh, not a good impression, George. No. Guys, get up now. It's a video.
I do a video and I
How
watch
about
people.
your days in the camera?
I'm a Feldenkrais practitioner.
Your name?
Jack.
Why you trust me?
Now I'm here in the
Yeah,
city and
yeah.
I love living here.
How many years you live in New York?
Oh, all my life. Born and raised.
We have a saying, love and passion and dreams inside us.
What's your job?
Construction, my brother.
Your brother? Real brother? Always brother. Yeah.
What it look like?
Different. You like some people starting something.
Like a smart person, yeah.
Yeah. The real life is like that. Wow, I like this building. Now it's building.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Say something.
For the owners.
It's always a compliment based on reality.
Are you from here?
I like your portrait. Yeah. I like
Sit
it.
down.
Well, sit down.
Very nice.
That's it. Part of
How has primary is
The real life
here.
Yes.
It's live in human way under the eyes of the public in the field we live, which stimulates people's deep sympathy, human nature, self-sexually is not
I was gonna die.
This neighborhood has been sleepy. This neighborhood has been quiet and sleepy and unenergetic. And this is important.
Very good. And your name is gentleman.
Dion Allen.
Here goes the bicycle. Nice.
I am Loy. Now I live in New York.
Happiness, it's just a glass away. Good morning with that sunshine.
And sometimes those be looking out to the building in front of us, the building, sometimes could be, okay, it's
Serious.
smallest understanding of love and truth that I wasn't I'm a perfect reflect.
And you kind of honor the homeless people.
Ellen. Ellen.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. I was a little concerned because I thought my phone was coming into the call and I put it on Do Not Disturb. But I wanted to turn over to the panelists if there are any questions that you might want to entertain or comments at this point for our guest artists. I would welcome you to join. Does anyone, Liz, do you want to?
Yes, I wondered if Lo, if she would write a poem first and then do the images from that, or if she would do the images first and then write a poem afterwards, because they seem to be linked in some ways, mostly. And I wondered which one came first, the image or the poem? That's my question.
Loy, she's asking you a question. Do you understand?
No,
他就问你是，这个你是先写诗还是后画画，还是先画画后写诗？就你的 image。
就是this is not my poem. It's a calligraphy. I write the classical Chinese poem, and I think it's first I do the calligraphy before I create the images. Yeah, because in Evan's house. Is a house, not a studio, so I can't very good at do paintings. So I do the video and I do the calligraphy, yeah, and I many emotion inside. Yeah, thank you.
So I have one comment about all of the work that I've seen over just a short amount of time since I met you last summer. I noticed that your environment outside of you, whatever that environment is, whether it's a tree or whether it's the city, buildings, the people that are around you, you are very connected to whatever environment you are in. Can you talk about that process and how that integrates itself into your work?
可以帮我再解释一下？
他的意思就是说，你的作品经常是关于你身边的这个环境的。就是你外部的环境和你内部的环境，这个就内部的这个创作的这种这种感觉和外部的环境是怎么样结合起来的？你能解释一下这个过程？
Maybe I think first I'm an honest person, honest artist. I think this is very, very important to be an artist. So when we met some different time, space, or some experience, it's always have something happened inside, maybe even a little thing to point. I'm also a point. Maybe it's a huge thing, so have some emotion inside. So this give me some big push me do something, and I want to express what I'm feeling, and let me come down like this. So this is outside and inside must be together.
Yeah, go ahead, Rosalie.
Yeah, I have a question. First of all, Loy, thank you. Brilliantly expanded the whole concept of consciousness, and you do it in a most powerful way. This whole idea of putting together this phenomenal world of vitality and being able at this time in our world of confusion and complexity to be able to bring that emotion inside, and how we deal with that is is our job and is the challenge that we all have in being able to integrate this world within our emotional base. Thank you for bringing that forward in the way that you do. The overlay is just really overwhelming, but at the same time clarifying. And the ability to do that is amazing. And I just wonder if you could talk a little bit about the concept of the now and how that integrates all of what is happening, going back to your own earlier background in consciousness understanding in the Eastern tradition as compared to the Western tradition.
Yeah. 那个唐梦，我是怕万一有点什么不太，你一下。
他就是说，他觉得你的作品呢比较非常好的是把你的这个潜意识和意识，很好的这个表达出来，非常有力量。他呢能够从你的作品里头看出一些，他说现在你这作品的表达的这个世界的这个复杂性和这个迷惑，大家对这个世界的迷惑的这种感觉都表达出来了。然后你现在呢，就是你的这个作品里头，你是怎么样这个联系你以前早年的背景，然后把你的这种意识融入到你的创作当中，这里面有没有这种东方的传统文化在里面
？Thank you, thank you. I think you asked a very, very good question because I do this project. I do this. What you said, what you asked is I asked by myself. Yeah. So why I do some painting like some little bit like normal as the trees and the flowers. Why I do this? Because this is from my real life. Every day I look at the tree. They are my friend inside, and every day I look at the flower, so beautiful, but inside I'm sad. I'm sad because I'm very poetic. I'm a poet. I always feel some thing inside, many theory about different things. So I think I want to do another project about my background, because I'm a Chinese background, poetry and some theory, and usually I from China. China has some very big changes. Something I feel confused. So I don't know how to say. So I put them together. I think it's complicated, simple together, but I need to put them together and complicate. Yeah, it's like that. So I think I can't express very well. So, but I think you understand me very. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosalie. I do have a question from the audience, or someone who wrote in, which I'm going to share with you now. she, hang on a second. I have to move my screen over to get it. This is something that someone had looked at the artwork of Bleak and Beauty, your initial PDF that was shared, and she said that there was some kind of physical restriction when you were creating your paintings. I am wondering how this restriction affects you to see the world during the pandemic.
好吗？谢谢。那我们再解释一下。
就是他说，这个问题就是说你的这个物理的这种对你的限制，你影响没影响你的这个创作？然后他就是想知道这个你这个在大瘟疫流行期间，这个物理的限制对你的创作的这种影响。
Of course, when I'm in China, I do a solo exhibition. I said, I answer a person like this. I think maybe our freedom is not freedom. We never be real freedom. We always be controlled. We be pushed on the ground maybe. But only because this happened, this physical control, it gets us artists powerful and some emotion to do something. If not, our life is very good. Anything is very good. I think maybe no people can do some touch the soul thing.
就是他说他还有一个问题，就是说他问你这个物理的限制对于你在瘟疫期间来理解这个世界有没有影响？
应该肯定是有啊，就是in pandemic, of course, the physical control, of course, gave me the different what I can get. For example, when I come to New York City, I can go back and I haven't a studio and anything I haven't, and I feel very, and even I can find a room to stay. So I must keep be together with some young person. So, but at this time I don't do my work now. I still can get use the different what I can get. I do some different artwork. For example, I can do video and I can do some portrait on the street and take it back to to home. Yeah, if for example, like if normal time I can on the street maybe like the other artists do portrait present, but pandemic people can't keep contact face to face. So okay, I can take back in the little space I can do, and I use my mask and meet them. Yeah, this is many is different, but this is charming of the different times work creation. Yeah, so thank you.
I can see the 1,000 Hamlets that you are creating. Maybe 1 million.
Yes. Trillion. Yeah, this is winter time. The technique, the science technique give us. So you look at game movie, always trillion some images the evil, but it's fake. Sometimes, but from us we can use them. So I say, if you do many work, but good artists, I think good work is even you do anything, but people can through many your image you create can see one you, yeah, one artist, yeah. Thank you.
Interesting. Yes.
So the window is a metaphor.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
For the lens. For the lens
Yes, yes.
that you have,
Yes.
that each person has.
Yes.
For your lens.
Yeah, yeah, for my lens. Yeah. And like a glass, but not real glass.
Yes, yes.
Everyone have glass.
Yes.
But not some colorful glass, no. Glass is glass. It's not good or bad. You don't deny it. You don't say, I haven't a glass. No, you have. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Everybody has that lens.
Yeah. Different time will have different glass.
Yes, I totally get it. Totally get it. I think it's, but I also really like the piece that Rosalie talks about consciousness and being present. So can you talk about that piece of it, the consciousness? Maybe I like that other, you're talking about having a lens, and you're talking about a million lenses that but there's only one writer or one artist.
Yeah.
So how does consciousness play into that?
那个唐梦，你再跟我解释一下，我怕万一误解了。唐梦。
就是你的意识。
You want to go ahead, Rosalie? Rosalie, go ahead.
I mean, what Loy is saying is that this is all about consciousness. It is taking all of the phenomenal complexity into the self, and the self is responsible for the integration of that. And so that plays the major role into what creates that consciousness, which is continuous and ever expanding, while at the same time it is coming into itself.
他就是说，你听明白了吗？
听明白了一些，你再帮我确定一下。
他就是说，这个你的作品都是关于这个意识，这个意识怎么才能把这个世界的这个复杂性给和你自己自身的这种感觉能够交织在一起，然后把它表达出来。然后他的问题就是说，你的这种这个过程是一个什么过程？
Yeah, this is, I think, is every artist thinking about this trouble. To me, I think maybe the most important thing at the sphere layer, I think, is you should find a good some symbol or like something can have a wide like me, this time I find the window. Yeah, I think a window can bring very complicated. It's a good metaphor.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a real thing, but he can give you many imagination. Yeah, you can say many things for inside, for outside, for prison, for physical, or for spiritual, or front. You can see the front of the painting, but to me, background of the window, I have many calligraphy, the poem. Yeah, so this time I think I find the good thing is window. I think window, yeah, connect this my complicated theory together.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tsao had a question
I think
too.
that I'm sorry, Lynnette.
Tsao had a question as well, a comment.
Yeah,
Yes, I was just turning it over to Tsao too. Thank you, Tsao.
Oh, you want for me to speak?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you. I don't have a question, rather I have a comment. Since I know her rather well, even though we only met not long ago in an occasion, then we get together a few times. Being a Chinese myself, I see the visible and the invisible rather contrast each other. What we see the chaotic world and being confused person from China in the city of New York, and her eyes turned onto everything in this pandemic, massive, crazy period. What invisible is not just that. I see there is a Chinese tradition, the intellectual tradition, which is going through or throughout the entire work. In Chinese tradition, the elitists, the poets are not just poets. Poets usually were the officials like Du Fu or Li Bo or all these people. And their eyes often turn on those who are in misery. And she was in a very confused and a contradictory, psychologically unsettling situation, being somebody who is homeless, and yet was in China, one of the elitists. And her eyes naturally carried on the tradition as well as her situation, then mixed together with, she stood herself into the shoes of Du Fu to look at those people who lost the roofs during the big storm. And she herself was in the storm and she had no roof over her as well. And that was so powerful for me. So this is my comment.
Thank you. Thank you, Tsao. I actually met Loy during that time, and that was, it was an amazing, we had an amazing conversation about that space, which Loy, if you want to continue to respond to that, her comment, and the space that you were in when you first came to New York last, was it March or February? March, just when you couldn't go back to China. Do you want to respond?
Oh, Tang, do you want me to translate or shall I?
You can translate it for her. That will be more accurate.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
罗伊，我说的是，我说我没有问题问你，因为我和你相对熟悉，虽然见到你也不久，也是不久前的事儿，但是几面见了之后，还是相对了解一些。我看到的你的作品有一个相对的对立的存在，就是可视和不可视。这个可视的部分是在疫情之下的这种混乱、恐慌，以及很多这种状态。那么不可视的是一个中国的传统，像中国的传统，李白、杜甫这些人，他们都是诗人，但他们都是所谓的高端人物。中国的诗人，中国的高端人物常常会特别关注底层人物，他们用一种怜悯的悲视的心情去看底层人物。那么当你处在纽约的时候，你自己是一个无家可归的人，同时你又曾经在离开北京前，你也是一个高端人物，像李白、杜甫一样，因此你一生兼二职，又高端又关注到低端，你的身份就是很复杂的。但是这种很复杂的情况下，你的可视，但是更多的是展示出了不可视。这种可视和不可视，于是使你的作品显得格外的有力度。所以他们希望你对我的评论做一个回答。
好的，我用中文说吧，然后完了以后那个你帮我解释一下。
Oh, she wants me to translate. She will speak Chinese. That sounds good. I got myself a job. Go ahead. 可以。孟堂, do you want to translate for her?
No. You please, that is your conversation. So I'm.
You don't want to help me. Okay. I got myself in. Okay, go ahead.
这个首先我想说就是那个窗子的问题，就无论你们怎么评论我的作品，我觉得是你们有你们的创作，这也是这个创作的一个原本的含义。我意料到是大家肯定有不同的观感，这第一个你解释一下，就是这个作品的本身含义，就是每个人有他自己的观感。
You may agree or disagree with me. I wanted to say when I did the work, the windows, I have an idea that everybody's eyes are a pair of window or a window. You see things through your own window. You carry your own window with you all the time.
Yes. People have their because Tsao have her background similar with me, close with me, but also different. So he get a different comment. I think this is my project's meaning or concept itself. And 我感觉说不了，我再告诉你，就是第二个就是什么呢？就是你关于那个李白和杜甫，他们是高端人士。我就觉得每个人他都有不同的时空，不是我一个人。像那个就是我们李白、杜甫，还有那个什么那个徐渭，还有那个什么我想说的是苏东坡，他们这些人全都是曾经有过所谓的很好的经历，然后又有很不好的经历，但是他们伟大的作品就是因为包括屈原，就是因为他们的这个状况时空发生了改变，产生了巨大的冲突，所以他们才产生了这个惊世骇俗的作品。Thank you.
Yes, you said that the poets who were high-level elites, and those elites, 李白、杜甫、屈原、苏东坡、徐渭, they were all once glorious. They were all once in a glorious position. And however, there is one thing they share in common. That is, all of them had once fell into the bottom of the society. Without that experience, they would never create such a thing that would shake the world.
This is the human being's fate. Human being's fate. Yeah. 因为我是想说，因为他们从高端有了一定的这个知识背景和视野背景，然后他们又进入一个低端的生存状态，所以他们能够感受到比一般人感受更多的一种所谓的人类的共同命运。
他刚才解释的就是这个意思。
谢谢，谢谢。太好了，你替我证明了我的工作努力。
我不能谈论太复杂，有时候
没有，他刚才解释的就是你说的那个意思。
You have any? Go ahead, Rosalie. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, to encapsulate everything that's being observed here, Loy, you made the comment that the creative expansion of the emotion in the present moment. I think that tells us exactly, well, I mean, partially, where you're going with your creative effort in bringing this forward for all of us to be able to explore within ourselves this whole idea of the ability to be creative in our emotional being.
他说就是说你这个 你自己的这个创作的这个过程，这个非常有这个把这个这个人类的情感的这个复杂创作影响了他们自己，让他们都意识到就是说我们的这个现在的这个存在，然后我们都可以这个是一个有创作力的一个个体。
Yeah.
Am I right?
I'm very happy. This is what I want. Yeah. Any time is a good time for creation.
Yes.
Yeah. And a good chance. Good chance. Yeah.
Yes. So I still am interested in that intersection that you experienced as you transitioned during the pandemic last year from being a resident and a citizen in China to coming to New York City and having that moment in time. And I remember in our conversation, we talked about your sense of belonging and not belonging at the same moment. Do you remember that conversation about belonging and not belonging when you were transitioning from this, from not being able to go back to China and being kind of in New York, which kind of catapulted your experience into a different level?
再跟我确认一下。
他那个就是说你从中国到了美国，然后就是就碰上这种大瘟疫了，然后你的这种归属感，是一种什么样的情况啊？
Yeah.
心灵的归属感。
I think you ask me now is a little bit different between what you asked me before. Yeah. And before, if you ask me this thing, I will cry. Yeah, I will be very, very, very sad. But now, if you ask me, I think maybe I can't so much emotion. I just think, oh yeah, this is a person they can't. Maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, you understand. Not.
Yes, I do. I do. Right.
Yeah, just about this is a culture problem. Yeah. So maybe I think more about Qiyuan, like or Gongzi, or many people like Plato. Yeah, they want to they wanted to transfer their ideal 他们想就是很多伟大的人，他们想实现他们的理想，他们经常会出离，就走到别的国家去，然后又在别的国家，你看那个柏拉图都被别人抓成了那个奴隶，孔子也被人差点干掉，就是他们会经历很多离乱的事情，但是这些都是人类创造史上的这个丰富的养料，所以我要感谢这样一个特殊经历。
She appreciated that kind of life experience that she had during the pandemic from China to the United States. That's kind of experience because in the human history, a lot of elite persons, they all experimented some kind of like traveling and lost their countries or kind of put themselves in a certain like different positions in the society and had a big kind of like life changing in their lives. Those kind of experiences affecting their own understanding about the human society. So that actually is a great experience for her to be an artist.
Yes, go ahead, Rosalie.
I have another meeting. I'm going to have to leave, but thank you, Loy. This was just inspiring, brilliant work. And I hope we'll have an opportunity to have further conversations. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Roslye. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Rosalie. Thank you for your wonderful contribution today.
Thank
and
you.
for
I want to thank her as well. That I have to leave now as well. Thank you.
We will, yeah, I
Yeah,
suppose we've had a wonderful discussion this morning, and we could probably go on more. Your work, I'm very excited to see your evolution, continuing evolution, and I really feel very grateful for your participation and your generous time to put this together for us.
Yes, thank you so much.
And thank you, Lynnette and Tsao and Rosalie and Meng and Liz for being here today and contributing your time to